Oh, right. Problem is, you do a video, and if you post it on YouTube, it seems like you're egotistical, and you really are not egotistical. So I don't think I'll be posting this on YouTube. If I do, then again, it's not a lesson in ego aggrandizement. And I'm deliberately watching my little chromatic tuner. Let's see if I can just get a tone. This is starting. I don't know. I hate to say your male voice, your old voice. I mean, this is where we're at for today. Our bass is coming in at an A2. Okay, A2. So, and I was trying to get my voice up to a D4 before. So I've already done my ambulance drills, my warm-ups. So I'm just going to get a swig, and then I'm going to shoot for a tone, okay? And I sit with my legs crossed, and it's probably not the best thing to do. However, I've really been trying to get myself used to having my legs crossed, and so 4 on the floor, Eleanor. Okay, here we go. So it's going to be just a general tone. I'm watching my screens. Ready? This is a B3. And a B3 is what is under middle C. And as I'm looking at the speedometer, as I'm looking at the meter here, it looks like I am peaking at a G4, which is too high. However, you would expect some crests and troughs. It would be nice. And I wonder if there's a setting for this. Maybe that's what the line in the middle is the average tone. Because it's okay, you know, again, as you talk, we don't talk in straight tones, right? I mean, when you get excited, you get excited. Or if you get sad, you get sad. And again, this sounds a little more like acting, you know, and I have issues with that line of thinking, and you know, if you're your authentic self and you're authentically happy, then let it out, you know. Okay, warm beverage is a must. All right, so one more tone. And I just want it to be 2 notes above that. So let me see if I can go from the B4 to a C4 or D. So I'm going to start with a B4 again. This is a D4, a little bit sharp, but this is a D4, which I think is a little too high. I don't think a D4 fits me. I'm gonna cross my legs, by golly, because ladies cross their legs. Okay, all right, so here we are. So let's do it again. Okay, see, that's a C4. And I, to be honest, I would be happy with the B. You know, when I come in, I think I was an A2. You know, to go to a B3 from an A2, that's a scale and a note, right? Because A to A would be, well, is that 8 notes? So 9, 10 notes different as far as pitches go. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is, while I'm watching this thing in front of me, I am going to read a paragraph called "We Have All Been There." Okay? And one time,
Each and every one of us is new to the path. It takes courage to begin a new venture, as you are never entirely sure what the outcome will be. There is a lot of uncertainty that surrounds one's newfound interest, and it often leaves one with more questions than answers. Each of us took our time, did research, became comfortable with our newly solidified spirituality, and then started reaching out to others in pursuit of community. There was a feeling that we had to finally come home. We probably had moments when we received positive feedback. We have also probably all been shot down at one time or another. Okay, so that's a paragraph out of a book, and I'm gonna watch the video. I wonder if the video will tell me what my chromatic score is. But again, it's the way it is right now. If I say, well, this is our first time, we have done this all before. Again, that's kind of coming in as G3, which is, again, I'll take a G3. I mean, that's 9. That is 8 notes above what I normally come in at. But, you know, here's my observation is that this, when I read, it's almost like a theatrical thing because I'm using someone's text that's probably been very well edited or at least looked at once or twice. It's not conversation anyway, but it's not really off the top of your head either. And so for the next experiment, what I want to do is I want to talk about what I did yesterday, which was make mushroom soup. Okay, so again, this is just off the top of my head. It's not rehearsed. I haven't. Okay, we're just going to talk about making mushroom soup. And drink fluid, please. Note to myself, drink lots of warm liquids here. The other thing I was going to say when I was doing the tone, you know, the ha tone, when I was a D4, a little sharp, it's not so much, if you put your hand in front of your face, you can go ha, okay, go ah, without any breath. And from what I remember, my memory's not very good, you want to let that air come out of your diaphragm as you're speaking. And so if you put your, you know, when you talk normal, depending on what you say, you can feel your breath on your hand, right? Well, it's the same thing when you're trying to do that tone. You don't want a pure monotone. You want to get that air flowing out of your diaphragm. So you know, okay. And the reason for that is, I think falsettos tend to be without breath. They tend to be, oh, just going up here because it's up here. And it's not really using your breath. And it almost sounds like a, unfortunately, I mean no offense by this, kind of a drag queen or a trans, you know, a female impersonator, okay, for lack of a better word. You know, just someone who's like, hi, how are you? You know, and so if it's too breathy, then you're going to know something's up. So anyway, so let me get another bit of courage here, another bit of fuel. And I'll tell you my boring story about mushroom soup. Now, when I think of mushroom soup, I think of cream of mushroom soup, and that's not what I'm making because I still have to maintain my weight loss, okay? And so yesterday I went to the store and I bought bella mushrooms and white mushrooms and steak mushrooms. They were sliced. Two things were pre-sliced. And then I also bought some leeks. Really big leek. I mean, it was about yay big around. I mean, I know some, I was about to say some guys have problems with size, but then that would infer that I'm a guy and I'm not. But anyway, I mean, it was a good 2 inches in the lower part of it. And so I got out my big chopping block, my board, and I use a cleaver because I saw a Japanese woman do it and I was like, oh, that's what I need to do. And I chopped up the leeks and I go about 4 inches down the stalk. I do get some of the green bits that are leafy and I add them, you know, I usually put, when I make chili, I add mustard greens, collard greens, dandelion greens, spinach. And so I'm used to having some roughage in my stuff, so that's why I put a little bit of the stalk that you normally, if you get like a scallion, and I used to do this too, I would only go like an inch, just the white part of the scallion, the green onion. And now what I do is I almost eat the whole damn stalk. I cut it up just like chives, I guess, and I put it in my salad and my soup. Let's see, to that I bought, and now my voice is, you can starting to go a little flat. So let me get a little bit of liquid warmth here. Hang on, bear with.
You didn't hear me do that.
Oh, this coffee is so wonderful. Talk about bullshit, right? Who's being fake now? Oh, excuse me. I gotta learn those. I read one time, going off track, that it helps to learn how to laugh and how to fart. I mean, laughing. If all we did was practice, if all I did was take you out of it, if all I did was practice reading and conversation, what happens when you fart or you burp and you say, excuse me, if you're not ready to say, excuse me, in your new voice, in your upper register, I gotta come up with a better name for that. Because I hate to say your feminine voice, because, ooh, now it's really hurting. Okay, all right. Oh my goodness, maybe I did too much too soon. All right, so let's just move on. So now I'm going to watch the meter as I talk, just so I can see what the average is. I almost feel like I should be able to adjust if need be, but at the same time, I kind of starting to work my muscle is very happy where it is right now in my throat, and so, I don't necessarily think that I have to, if I say I wanted to be a D4 and I come in at an A3, let's say, or a B3, I'm not going to push it, especially if my voice is not used to being this way for a while. So on that note, maybe I better call it quits for the day, which sucks ass because there's going to be times today that I like to, when I'm on the road, it's a good practice. Maybe I can still do something later. But that's what someone else had said, a woman, about voice training. And she said, start counting from 1 to 100 and then count back down again. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. They're really slow, and work on enunciation somewhat. And that's what I used to do in work. It was before I was on hormones. I mean, I'd drive to work and I'd get in my car and shit. I learned how to cuss too. 1, 2, or I'd read the road signs, exit 51, 3 miles. All right, so I think I'm going to sign off here. And there was something I wanted to read that I think was interesting. And I guess this could be my impromptu talk. It was Rachel, who was, she's a part of the Trans Woman National Group. And she had a really good comment, because I had posted, hey, if anyone has experience, share what you want to do. And she just had some good experience about, being our authentic selves, and the degree to which we want to be our authentic selves. And I wish there were times in my past that maybe I would have had Rachel in my life, just as a friend, to be my wing girl. When my family would argue with me, or, my mom, not necessarily my mom, but my sister and my father and other members of the family that, kind of wrote me off somewhat. I wish that she would have been there to say to them somewhat, you know, what Karen does, and I'll adapt it for now. I mean, I'm thinking back to arguments from like 1990 something. Okay, this is nothing new, although I'm still dealing with it. Because obviously some members of my family just can't handle me, and that's what gets into what Rachel said. Who has the problem? And someone had said something like, they're not the problem, I'm the problem, and something to that effect. And I apologize if I get it wrong by any party. I'm just third person off the top of my head, filling time, talking spontaneously without thinking about what I'm doing. And Rachel's kind of had said something back to, said, no, you are not the one with the problem. If they cannot accept you as your authentic self, it is them. They have the problem. And that's a huge shift, especially when we come from an area where we feel like we have, fear, doubt, and shame. And I know that's a progression. Some of them build on the other, but it's true. And she said something about, now my voice is really going down. I'm gonna have to stop. Shit. Well, you know what? This is what happens, and what I said the other day about, how long did it take us to figure out how to put on makeup? And I'm still learning. I mean, I have my own style that I'm very happy with, obviously. But, how many times did we put on the wrong foundation? How many times? Well, yeah, we have to give ourselves the opportunity to learn, right? And if I can think of it real quick, whatever she drove home, it was, that, we are trying to be our authentic selves. And we don't need to make an excuse for someone else that we're trying to be our authentic selves. And when it comes to the voice, much like some of the other things we might do, other people are not going to understand it. I can think of one beautiful, beautiful woman right now, Addison, and Megan too. I guess two beautiful. I'm surrounded by beautiful women as friends. No men here though. Anyway, but someone would say from out of the gate, why do you feel like you need to change your gender? And that's something we all deal with, But then someone might say, well, aren't you happy just transitioning? And then you're like, well, no, I'm not happy with my appearance. Or in my case, I'm not happy with the sexual organ that's between my legs, okay? And there's no right or wrong answer as far as how far you want to go, and maybe that's not even a good word to use. There's no right or wrong answer for what changes you want to make in your life to the degree that you want to do them. But the idea of being your authentic self, again, much like we had to get used to our physical appearance, if we do want to change our audible, our voice, that is just as justifiable as making those changes and going full time, and our presentation, our appearance, how we sound. Someone who, and again, I'm gonna use Addison as an example. Beautiful woman, okay? Beautiful woman. She decided she wanted facial feminization, okay? And she's back to being a beautiful woman again, What can I say? Beautiful, but that's the way she wanted to be. And I thought, a little more. I listened to the other videos the other day, Um, as bad as I may sound, somewhat, and assuming I get a little better, okay, um, the more and more people become acclimated to hearing me talk this way. Um, excuse me. Again, this is going to become the norm, right? And I thought about that this morning too. Um, you know, getting used to the idea. And I had mentioned something about my daughter, and I'm going to slowly work this into, okay. But again, I derailed myself. Ah, crazy. All right, I'm going to give up. Give me just a minute. Maybe it'll come back to me. Oh, yeah, people getting used to us. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, oh, oh. Again, someone would say, that's not how you sound. And it's like, but it's authentic. Give me a break. Give me, I don't know. My sister, when I was younger, and we were both, elementary school, age, she said something about my laugh was fake, and I don't know why it just came back to me right now. And it's like, if I was to do something, if I was to laugh, or if I was to have a genuine emotion, and someone was to say, oh, well, your laugh is fake or whatnot, it's like, it may sound different to you, but it was an authentic laugh. It may be different than what you're used to, but don't we change every day? I mean, especially us. I mean, shit. That estrogen, from day to day, maybe we don't notice anything, but over time, oh my gosh, look at yourself, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 12 months ago. Probably a different person. All right, so I'm going to turn this off, and I think I'm still coming in at a B3, which I will be happy with a B3. I think, again, I have to find a home, and I have to stay in my home, because the more I stay in my home, the more I stay in my home space, the more I get used to it, the more my ears, our ears have an equalizer and everything in it. Our ears kind of play with our voice before it gets to our brain. And so I need to listen back to this with headphones, and I need to kind of get used to hearing that sound, so that when I roll out of bed in the morning, possibly one day in the arms of my future husband, oh, Thor, I'll take you in, Chris. He's so handsome. Anyway, and I look into Chris Helmsworth's eyes and I say, good morning. I won't say, good morning. Okay. Although that is kind of scary. It was always my thing. Or like in sex, right? In the middle of sex, the joke about your partner calls out someone else's name. Wouldn't it be just weird to drop down 9 notes, right? But anyway, enjoy the day. That's all we can do. All right, my friends, I think I will upload this, but I'm not going to post it to Facebook because, again, I feel like kind of egotistical in a way. But for someone who's interested in learning, this is probably a good way to do it. And we'll go from there. And obviously, everyone's mileage may vary. Okay? So I need to sign off. So from the land of Indiana, I will wish you good luck on your journey, baby. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck to us all. Share the good vibes. Okay. And wherever you are on your journey, good luck to you. Okay? All right, my friends, that's it for today. And I'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye.